Hero, if you did have the opportunity to play a villain, who would you like to play?
Well, General Zod. That's what's you know what? I would like to play the Riddler. That's one of those things that you have to put out there into the universe and hope that it eventually comes back to you.
You think Jim Carrey did an okay job?
Sure. I think right now, if they were to do a new Batman film and they were to make, and it was in the sort of the world in which Christopher Nolan's Batman exists, and they did a spin on the Riddler in that tape, I think Jim Carrey killed that. But I'm also the same guy, and I'm weird this way. I think Jim Carrey should have won Best Actor for playing the Grinch, because I always think of acting roles, and I think of degree of difficulty. And there wasn't one thing about Jim Carrey that he didn't change, whether it's how he walks, how he talks, how he looks at people. I mean, that to me is the highest level of an acting performance. So, did he do a good job in Batman Forever? But it was a different type of movie. It was Joel Schumacher's Batman, and in that universe, he did a spectacular job.
Well, while we were talking about Batman, I heard a couple of people say Ben Affleck. So.
Everybody by surprise.
That was a joke at first. I wasn't sure. So, what's your take on that?
I think Ben Affleck has done really good work. His last three directing efforts, Gone Baby Gone, Argo, and The Town. I love The Town. The Town is a fantastic movie. And, Warner Brothers doesn't just hand out these parts willy-nilly. You know, they don't just say, here, hey Ben, want to play Batman? Like, I'm sure that there was a little bit more of a process to the whole thing, and I know this because I had to go through the casting process, and I'm sure for someone with Ben Affleck's stature is a little bit different. But I don't know if there's ever been anyone picked to play a part coming off of the heels of someone so iconic like Christian Bale playing it, because I don't know, I think that the Christopher Nolan trilogy for Batman is probably the greatest superhero trilogy in the history of film. I don't know if you could have picked anyone that was going to be met with anything but a certain level of trepidation, but I will reserve judgment until Mr. Affleck gives it a good, honest try.
You guys are gonna get me in trouble.
Hey, Steve, are you gonna grow a goatee?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think that there's a CW rule against having a goatee. I'm pushing it as far as I can push it, having facial hair.
We are going to go around for questions in just a bit, but we had a couple more that we wanted to ask. I wanted to know, playing this incredibly confident character, have you personally changed, in your life in the past year plus, bringing life to this role and, always on screen having this presence? I mean, obviously you aren't a superhero in real life, but you do a great job playing on TV, so, does that affect you as a person in your personal life?
My life has changed a lot only because I used to, when I was an actor, both in Toronto and in Los Angeles, I used to measure my success for that year based on how many days I worked. And I set a goal for myself in 2011 of working 100 days, and I got to like 90 something. And now I measure my years in the amounts of days off that I have. Because we shoot Arrow for 9+ months a year. It's a really difficult, arduous schedule. It's not actually work, so I don't think of it that way, but it's a lot of hours that we have to put in. And I would say that I have become a bit more direct than I used to be. I like to get things done. I'm a very bottom line person, and that's changed. But still try to be the same normal guy.
Yeah.
Try.
So I just want to know, with the way that you have to work out and your diet to keep this image. Do you have a cheat day, and what would you eat on your cheat day?
You know, what happened last year is I had a very specific guide for the pilot, but the pilot is not the series. The pilot is something that I had a month to prepare for, and we get 17 days to shoot it. And like $10 million. As opposed to, we have 8 days to shoot episodes of the series, and we could definitely use 17, because every single episode that we have now is the size of the pilot in roughly half the time. So last year I had a very strict diet that I carried over from the pilot, and what it started leading to is it started leading to binge days. Where I was like, this is awful, I can't do this anymore. So I tried to just have a much more balanced diet this year so that I don't turn into an insane person. So, but you know, I had some ice cream last night.
Yeah.
Mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
Mint chocolate chip is the greatest ice cream ever invented. No arguments.
Well, they're on the floor. Let's do that.